Good evening. Dude79 here doing a quick mic check. Mic check. Hope everyone's having a good evening tonight.
Miggity Mike, what up?
All right. We'll be back on in just a moment. Just a short delay, but we'll be live in just a few moments. Thanks, guys and gals. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble, the 2021 edition. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's,
Well,
sir.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah, man. It's 2021, and everything's supposed to be chill, right? We're done with the nonsense of 2020.
That
We're
took
good to go.
about 6 days.
6 days.
6
Shit show confirmed.
days.
It has been a day, you guys. It has been a day for sure. I was enjoying my day, and I was watching Nicolas Cage's show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Was it the history of swear words? And I was on the 4th episode when you said, "Bruh, turn on the news."
I told you. I'm like, bro, you need to turn. I said something first, and then you didn't.
Hell
and
is
it's like,
breaking loose.
you
at
need
the
to turn on the
Capitol
news right
building.
now.
And I was like, no, it's not. There's no way
And
something
then you
bad
turned
would
on the
happen. Somebody died today at the Capitol.
That was one of them. One of the things.
The first time the Capitol has been breached since
The War of 1812.
For all you history buffs, that's a long fucking time ago. You know, we don't get into too much politics, but obviously you can't,
Unless you know me personally.
unless you know Tone personally, which is unfortunate for you. But yeah, it was. It's been a chaotic day, you guys. It's been absolute. She was 16 years old, the girl that got shot.
Jesus fucking
16 years
Christ.
old, dude. And you know, I'm not gonna sit there and say, you know, what you should or shouldn't do. It's not my place to tell people what to do. But when you're breaching the Capitol building, I'm surprised it was just one person.
Honestly, yeah.
It's unfortunate. Obviously, we never want to see anyone die, but
That's a waste.
it's been just an absolute surreal day.
It's been a pretty
it still hasn't
uncomfortable
quite
day.
set in what happened today. It's been just an absolute utter chaos day. It was I think I ate a bag of Cheetos. I ate some can't remember what they are, but they're like they're chips. I had another bag of chips, and I had like 3 or 4 chocolate balls. I was stress eating during this whole thing today.
I kind of did too. I had a bunch of Kogel's pickled ring bologna and cheese.
Yeah, it was a really, really, really just stressful day. So we're happy to be back here for another year of Banter and Babble. We're excited to sit down and talk about stuff that we love. But, you have to acknowledge when certain things like this take place, when it happens. It rocks your world.
Me too, Trick. I was drinking mimosas partly to kill my hangover from yesterday.
Stress drinking was on the docket today. It was wild, you guys. But today was 9/11 day as far as news goes.
Absolutely true.
It was, man. It was just please make us laugh after a shit day. We're gonna try to. We're definitely gonna try to. Well, we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman 84, so we'll do a lot of laughing. Yeah. But I digress. But first of all, Tone.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Right.
And we're back, and we had some minor technical difficulties before we went live. We weren't able to get the information in for the drink today, but Tone, you know what we're drinking.
Yeah, this is Shiner does this candied pecan. I had this about a week and a half ago. I know Draston's familiar with it too, and I do want to give a quick shout out to Half-Ass Brew Review out there. Beer review, excuse me, I can't spit that out. Check him out on YouTube as well. We share a lot of brews and stuff like that, but this is candied pecan. Now, I love pecan pie. It is one of my favorites.
I'm a huge fan. It's second best oatmeal cream pie.
Wow, you're saying that, huh?
Yeah. I love oatmeal cream pies. Little Debbie's. True. They're so good.
Oh. My bad. My family has a great, my family has a great recipe for pecan pie, and when I drank this, I wanted more of that feel of it. That said, it's really good. Like it's a very enjoyable beer. I actually really like this beer. So
it's good. It's got good flavor, man. It's very playful. It's a playful little dish.
Yeah, it's
6.0.
Yeah, it's 6.0. It's a their 6-packs are a little bit cheaper than most, so I don't know how heavily into the craft game I guess they got. There's a few of their brews I've had. But man, I do like this. It's actually been very enjoyable. So
it's really tasty. Now, what's interesting about this, Tone, is this is compliment to the feast.
To the feast before thy.
We have a feast right here, provided to us by our good buddy Rob over at the 989 Pharmacy.
99 Pharmacy
down at the SVRC Marketplace. A charcuterie board. It's a very elegant name. And honestly, man, I think I butchered it the first time I read it. I was like, "What's a charcuterie or something like that?" But
yeah,
isn't it like charcuterie? It's kind of like this really unique, elegant name. But as you can see, and I will show you guys this. You guys have to see this thing. This is amazing. This is the charcuterie board has all sorts of meats and cheeses and fruits and pretzels and a jam, bread, pickles, a Dijon, like a brown mustard in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a whole lot of hotness. But that's not all they do.
Charcuterie board.
The charcuterie board is great, but man, their sandwiches, dude. We've talked about their sandwiches.
Yeah.
It is amazing. They have I think they have like 12 or 13 sandwiches on their menu. You and I are both big fans of the Burnham.
That is the sandwich of sandwiches, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we've got some great places in town for sandwiches.
Yep.
But Rob down there, like myself, appreciates a good sandwich. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be probably controversial.
There it is.
The Burnham right there. That is mile-high roast beef. You've got green pepper on that, cheese, onion, and tomato, and the last thing that makes this
fried
egg, and then a splash of Thousand Island dressing.
It is to die for.
It is to die for. And this is me. This is me saying this, and this is the controversial part. Is 9 out of, I would say 8. We'll say 8 out of 10 times. I'm going to choose a sandwich, delicatessen style sandwich, over a hamburger. And I know hamburgers are awesome, but I'm a Sammy guy. I want a Sammy.
Sammy.
I want a Sammy.
There is no shortage of good Sammys at the 99 Pharmacy. You know what? We're gonna run that trailer back again one more time.
One more time.
Because you think sandwiches. I think of mine. I'll make like a salami and cheese sandwich, and it's very small. It's not like there's not a whole lot of substance to it.
Mm-mm.
But in their sandwiches, it is stacked. These things are loaded with like meat and toppings and sauce and cheese and all this stuff. And it's so filling. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I love about it's one of the things I miss about working downtown, because I'm working from home right now with everything going on, is the SBRC Marketplace is literally like right next to where I work. So I would always be able to go over there and grab. I mean, look at that. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah, I mean, and and that's why he's making sandwiches right now for a living, is because he is a sandwich artist. He loves crafting
the thing is, the man, the guy is just a phenomenal cook
he's
in general.
a cook,
I mean, he's been around, like he's made ribs at some of the parties that we co-host together. He will smoke ribs, and I mean, the guy he's a natural
awesome.
when it comes to cooking. Everything he makes is fucking amazing. But now he's got this 99 Pharmacy down at the SBSA Marketplace, and like I said, man, a nice selection of sandwiches. They got the charcuterie boards, but they also sell like other things like local jams, the local pops.
Every time I go in,
the black cherry.
I just have to pick. No. So I got a new one. So the black cherry is really good. My favorite is the ginger, because it's not like a ginger ale, and it's spicy, literally spicy. They got the Northwoods. That's the big thing about 99 Pharmacy, is that all of the products that he sells is local Michigan, somewhere in Michigan, Boar's Head mostly for a lot of the meats and stuff like that. But the sodas that he's got there is from Northwood. They make them all handcrafted sodas.
Yep.
And every time I'm in there, no matter if I'm just stopping in to say hi or if I'm just grabbing some jerky, I will buy at least one soda.
Oh, I love those jerky packs that he's got there too.
Oh, dude, it's all amazing.
He's got jerky and stuff. I mean, he's got
fresh produce,
everything. I mean, it's a great place, you guys. And if you're ever in Saginaw, if you live here locally, go down to the SPRC Marketplace. They're open still. Go in there, get yourself a sandwich. It's really, really good. They also use Grubhub. So if you don't want to go downtown, if you're worried about COVID, which is rightfully so, they do Grubhub. You can actually go on Grubhub, find them, order a sandwich, they get it delivered to you. I tell you what, man, I think he mentioned it to me in this box when he dropped it off. This cheese right here,
that's delicious.
This cheese has some heat.
Is that pepper jack?
I don't know, but it is hot, and I like it.
It's a good kick.
It's really, really good, and it hits you fast too.
Don't disappoint me.
Do they deliver to Flint? I don't know, but I can tell you they're worth the drive to Saginaw, Tricky. And when we go back to work, if we go back to work down there, I'll be back there. But here's the good news, dude. Here's the good news. That's the one thing that really bums me out right now, is I can't go down. I can't get out for lunch, drive downtown, and get back in time to log back in.
Right.
So it kind of bums me out because I can't go anywhere downtown, but I love the SPRC Marketplace. Obviously, I would love to go there and get a Burnham every day. But the plus side is,
good news,
the 99 Pharmacy is expanding. They're branching out to Shields, which is a 5-minute drive for me.
Yeah, that's even closer for me, too.
As opposed to 20.
Or just easier, I should say.
Now, it's not open yet. They're working on the place. It's going to be right on Gratiot. It's going to be called the 989 Cafe, and it will have a drive-thru. That is fucking clutch.
So you call ahead, get your order set, and you can just drive through and pick it up.
Pick up your food. Go through and order your food. You guys, I'm telling you, if you live out in Shields, it's coming, and you're going to love this place. The food is so good. The sandwiches are amazing. These charcuterie boards. We're not going to be able to talk much tonight because we're going to be stuffing our face with meat, which is nothing new for Tone. But I am really, really excited about it. It's really good, you guys. This is what I was worried about.
Yeah?
I was going to eat a bunch and not be able to talk, and everyone has to hear a fat guy eat. It's not appealing. Hang on, you guys. Sorry. I got to eat this first.
Yeah, there's no food court in the Bay City Mall. Yeah, we'll tell Rob to get up there in the Bay City Mall and check it out too.
But here's where you need to go if you want to check out their site. They're on Facebook, and they have their entire menu on there. They have pictures of all their stuff. Head over to Facebook at 989 Pharmacy. They're right there, and as you can see, you can start your order right on the Facebook page. It goes through Grubhub. They'll get it sent out to you. It is really, really good, you guys. I'm serious. Like if you're in Saginaw, if you're local, if you're even from Flint, I don't care where you're at. If you're close to Saginaw, go to the SPRC Marketplace.
Absolutely.
Get in there, get yourself a charcuterie board, or get one of these sandwiches.
Get a Burnham.
Just get a Burnham. That's
get a Burnham. When you have a Burnham,
that's really all you need to do.
Yeah. Once you've had a Burnham, you're gonna know why we're singing the praises. Very honestly.
Yeah, dude. If you get the Burnham, you're gonna be like, okay, I'll be here every day this week.
It's over.
It's really, really simple. But you guys, seriously, really, really good stuff. He's an awesome guy. Him and his wife run it, and they're great people. They will take you. There he is, right there.
Oh, there he is.
Freezy989, you guys. Freezy989 is the owner and operator of 989 Pharmacy. Like I said, he is talented as hell. He makes great food. Like I said, and I'm not just talking sandwiches. Like I've eaten so much of what this guy makes, and it never disappoints. It never disappoints. Actually, I got a smoker for Christmas. I'm gonna try to get on his level.
Yeah, good luck.
It's gonna take a long time.
Oh, yeah,
it's gonna take a lot of practice to get to his level. But I want to try to get to his level. I'm addicted to the Saigon over there. Candy Corn Girl likes the Saigon sandwich.
I don't know if I've tried that.
I don't think I do. I don't. I just get the Burnham every time I go there.
Every time too.
I need to stop. I need to branch out and try new stuff. But Freezy, thank you so much, 99 Pharmacy, for providing this. We appreciate it. We're gonna mash on this through the show. I don't know if he's still in there, but what kind of cheese is this? The one that is really, really hot.
And I want to talk about how awesome the candied ginger is. I love ginger. This candied ginger. Jesus. And the candied cranberries I got in mine last week was unbelievable.
Delivered to C-Bus. I don't think they would. It might be. Yeah. There you go. Cuddles got the spot right there, you guys. Go over there and check it out. If you live local, if you don't want to drive down there, they got Grubhub. And then in April, that's what they're is it the spicy Gouda? That might be what it is, spicy Gouda. It is so good.
Really good.
But in April, that's what they're targeting. That's when they're planning to open the 99 Cafe right over on Gratiot. I think it's right by the subway is where they're going to be. So it's coming. It's moving out there. Honey habanero. It tastes like habanero.
It's some of the best cheese I've ever had.
Really good. It's really good, but man, it is. It caught me off guard. It was hilarious, man. I ate it. And I was like, wow, that's really hot. And I had Melissa try it. She's like, wow, that's really hot. Anderson walks in. He's like, is that cheese? Yeah, it is, buddy. You want a piece of cheese? Yeah. Dude, he ran to the bathroom and just like basically put his head under the sink and was just drinking water.
That's funny.
He hates me when I do that. But seriously, man, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And you guys, girls, check it out. It's definitely worth it. It is amazing. It's tasty. And it's good as hell. So, all right, Tone.
Yeah.
Before we get into our first topic, what have you been doing, man? What have you been doing with the new year? Now, I know retail has slowed down.
Well, finally.
You get time to chill and relax.
A little bit more. I've got more time in my hands. It feels like I'm not as tired. I'm not as stretched thin, it feels like.
Right.
So I'm getting more time to get in people's streams. The last couple weeks have been crazy and chaotic last few months.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that at the end, but I am planning to try and get back to my own personal stream as well too. Every so often, not too crazy right now because the time frames I work is nuts. But I am formulating a plan. Honestly, I know it's controversial, but I'm enjoying Cyberpunk and I can't stop playing it.
Huh?
I only deal with crashes from time to time. I love the game. It's everything I wanted again as an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
It's immersive. I'm way immersed into it. I can't stop playing it. So any of the free time that I've had, that's what I've been doing. On New Year's Eve, I got a charcuterie board, of course. Smashed that, drank mimosas for about 10 hours. We rented the Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer Two Bears live. It was pretty amazing. Tom Segura liked my tweet. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time. That was a good time. That was a great New Year's Eve. It's been really chill at the holidays because unfortunately not seeing family like all together. Yes, it's a bummer. However, I will say having breakfast on Christmas was the first time I've had that probably in well over a decade. Not traveling on the holidays when you only get that day off that week is pretty amazing. And yes, Vamp Bunny, hello. Yes, you were right. Lots of Fireball.
Fireball, yeah, you and
mimosas
your Fireball.
And Fireball.
You were living off mimosas over the holidays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, that's crazy. But that's pretty much. I mean, there was.
That's pretty much it. There's not a lot of crazy. I mean, besides today, like it's just been, you know.
That's good. Oh,
yeah,
that's good,
yeah.
man. At least you had some time to get more of your Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I've been just all over that Destiny 2 grind right now. I've been just trying to get to the highest level.
Yeah, you've been playing on that Destiny pretty hard.
Trying to get to the highest level so I can still be competitive in trials.
What up, RB?
We got our shit pushed in the other night, but we're getting better. We're getting better. You know, we have these nights where it just depends on who's playing. If the sweats are out, you know, if everyone's like, because like obviously you get these good weapons if you do well. And when you get into that rotation with all like the real sweaty players, the rage stream escalates quickly. And I punch desks. I hit stuff. I get angry.
There was some rage the other night. We all saw it.
Pissed.
Yeah, I know.
Pissed. Was not happy about that. So, but no, yeah, and I'm with you, man. Like I said, now that we're into 2021, I want to try to focus a lot on Banter and Babble thing. Which, if you guys and girls will notice, if you're a subscriber, we have 4 emotes ready for you to use right now. If you go into the emotes, you'll see them there. There's 4 of them. I'm trying to work out what the 5th one will be. I would love to get some feedback from you guys and girls.
Ooh.
Yeah, we need to come up with there. See, there we go. Yeah, see, Cuddles got that. There it is. Boom. Josh likes that one. That's a good one too. But yeah, we got emotes. Look, Cuddles got the emotes. Those are all. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. But yeah, see, we got emotes. I worked on those.
That's right. Have Beer Review says tone peeing. That has come up a couple times actually.
Oh, the tone peeing one.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's done. We figured it out.
Oh
That's
my
what'll
God.
Be. Tone peeing. I love it. That is definitely what we're going to do. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys very much. So yes, that's what we've been working on.
Appreciate
emotes,
those subs, everybody.
And we're also going to reveal a new feature here in a little bit that we're going to implement. It's kind of in a trial phase. We're trying to work out the bugs. There's still some things we're trying to figure out, but we are going to have our first call-in tonight.
Awesome.
We're going to have our first viewer call in to discuss one of the topics. Like I said, this is going to be a process as we try to work out the kinks and iron things out, so it's a smooth process.
Prime.
What Prime say? Did you say
tone peeing or tone peen?
I mean, ooh, man, coin flip now. We had it settled, but now either
way.
Tone's peen. It's small enough it would fit as an.
Oh my God.
Womp womp.
What the?
All right.
The attacks already.
Let's
emoji size is right.
Cap nose. All right, let's get to our first time. We have a trio of movies that have come out over the holiday break.
A lot of stuff dropped. I mean, we're of course we're still living in a world where we're dealing with COVID and digital releasing and digital content is going to continue to evolve whether people want to admit it or not. And we don't have to like it because we're big theater guys. We love going to the theater and enjoying midnight releases. But the reality is going forward, things have to adapt and change because these folks have a lot of money invested into them. So yeah, this this holiday, one specific of the movies we're going to talk about was part of one of the big deals that dropped. But then, of course, Netflix is always putting out a lot of good movies and stuff like too. And Disney comes swinging. Of course, we talked about the last show before we went on a break is, really swinging for the fences on their content as well too. So, yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about for some of these movies.
Let's get to our first topic. The first being what was arguably one of the more shocking things, one of the first big, massive titles that has been dropped on streaming day and date with theater release, and that is Wonder Woman 1984. This is a movie that was highly anticipated.
Yeah.
A lot of people were looking forward to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so. The first one I thought was the best, hands down, the best DC movie out of this whole new lot of movies that they pushed out.
That's
better than
the
Batmans. I mean, I guess I still haven't seen Aquaman, but I heard Aquaman's actually really good.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, it's all right.
But I mean, like from what I had seen of all the other ones, this was the first Wonder Woman was fucking awesome.
I love that's why I was so excited for this movie.
I think that's why everyone's excited.
I really love the
first
one.
Basically came in and righted the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Oh, look, DC could be really, really good. DC could be good with the right people and the right storylines and doing whatnot." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Wonder Woman is so good." And so Wonder Woman 1984 released 2 pretty good reviews too. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's the movie we need this year." And
the first few days
we need this, and the 2020 ends in a high note. And I'm thinking, "Fuck yeah, dude!" That's what I'm talking about. But Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman comes in again to like save the day, and we're
on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, it's a Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. And so I was like,
Christmas
"Sweet,
gift.
Can't wait to watch it."
Can't wait to watch it.
And you watched it a day ahead of me, and you were like, "Hey, did you watch it?" I was like, "Not yet." And you go, "I'll wait." I was like, okay, cool. Well, he's probably really excited about it. And so we watched it on New Year's Eve. I spent the last 2.5 hours of 2020.
That's how you framed it, too.
Watching Wonder Woman 1984 thinking there's no fucking better way to go into 2021 watching the feel-good movie of the year. And then 2021 rolled around, and I was like, boy, 2020 ended perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
That ended just like I expected it to end.
Absolutely.
Wonder Woman 1984 is not a good movie. Just my opinion. I know you have some thoughts on it as well, and I'm sure people in the chat want to talk about it. I want to get you guys and gals' thoughts as well. But this was not a good movie. It was convoluted to a degree where I didn't really know what was going on half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is super unfortunate because there's a lot of good actors in this movie.
I love Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, great actor.
Pedro
Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
Great actor. The Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal, for the record, before you go farther, was highly underutilized in the movie. He was great when he was on screen for the parts that he had, and he was definitely committed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was all in.
Underutilized in this movie. But anyways.
Great casting. Kristen Wiig.
Great casting.
I love Kristen Wiig. Didn't like what they utilized of her, especially the last 20 minutes. Jesus. Wow.
It's 6-piece Nug has been wanting emotes. Look at that, buddy. We got the emotes.
There you go,
baby.
There
you go, buddy.
Got
there you
your
go.
Emotes.
Appreciate all the subs,
Kristen Wiig, Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Pedro. I mean, you got the lineup. You got the people that can carry a AAA movie. But man, convoluted story, horrific CGI.
Wasn't great.
The special effects in this movie.
That's right, Trick.
Was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
There were scenes where she was running really fast down the road, and I was thinking in my mind, and before I could say anything, Melissa goes, "This looks cheap. This looks really stupid." And I was like, "It does. It looks really fucking stupid." It was it was bad. Like, it was really bad watching some of these scenes. Some of the CGI in this movie is horrible for a movie of this magnitude. This is a full, big budget, DC movie. And it was, I mean, it didn't look fake. It looked cringy.
Yeah.
Was not a fan of the CGI. The ending was just a mess. Kristen Wiig turns into a cat, and she is all CGI for the most part. And I was like, what is going on?
Actually, well,
for the most part.
Yeah, because the makeup they did on her was part CGI, or she was part CGI. Like, it's like they should have CGI'd her face, and they didn't. It was like,
it was like the Henry Cavill mustache thing. Like, part of it was CGI.
Right, like it's like they went into like the Dollar Tree and got some like makeup to do her cheetah lines. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know. Yeah. You want me to go?
Sure, go.
Okay, so here's my thing. I love Gal Gadot. I think she's fantastic as Wonder Woman. I love the casting. I know at first when she was casted there was some bullshit about it. I don't fucking care. I always get over all that shit. But she's great casting for Wonder Woman. The thing I liked most about the movie, the numero uno thing, was they actually really explored more of Diana's powers.
Sure.
And the things that make her part of the DCU, like more of the whip of truth, or what lasso, God, yeah. Whip. I mean, know my mind's at.
Kinky little fucker.
B&B after dark, yeah, ready for it. What are those grapes? Everything that she was doing like that was the stuff I love. I love that her outfit was more traditional, bright colored, like gold, red and blue. I loved all that, and I think that Kristen Wiig was fantastic as always, and it comes back again to what we always say: comedians that turn those drama roles.
Yep, she's good. She's really good.
She was, I think, of all the movie, and I'll get to that in a moment. She was the biggest tragedy of the movie, and not from the story sense, but because her story was so good and it was very anticlimactic. And that was the whole thing about the entire story, was that it was anticlimactic. It was not a great story. Chris Pine was completely just a wasted role.
That was so lame.
I get like what they were trying to do, but it should have been different then, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, come up with something better. Like, the whole premise of the story was bullshit. It was just shit. That was the best you could come up with. You have a trove of DC knowledge, a trove of things you could do. Or here's an idea. How about if you're having a hard time figuring out where you want your story to go, then just, if they would have center focused around Kristen Wiig because of how well she was, instead of having Pedro involved and that character and everything going on, then why didn't they fucking do that? You didn't need him as a catalyst at all. She could have just been turned into Cheetah and do some Cheetah shit and made you mad and just whatever. And they didn't do that. And it's a shame because, when you first see these comedians in anything, like, you think of how many years ago when you start seeing Tom Hanks in roles like that, and people are like, oh, Tom Hanks, like Philadelphia or something. Like, what's he going to do, right? And then he comes out and he's like holy shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kristen Wiig, in my opinion, even though it's just a comic book movie, shows that she's got some serious chops, and I want to see her in some more roles. Like she's kind of like I'm not gonna compare her to Sarah Paulson by any means, but she has that ability to be a Sarah Paulson, in my honest opinion. Like I can see that she's got some chops, but no one's given her that chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a big shame, because if they'd been more central around her,
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie could have been great. But they didn't. They were too worried about stuffing so much shit in it, and maybe getting some names in it. The CG was shit. She looked like shit when she turned into Cheetah. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, man, you could have just focused around Cheetah.
I liked awesome. Her story arc. Like I liked the struggle.
It was awesome. Struggle over the progression.
Yeah, she's constantly being objectified. Guys are just treating. I mean, you see the struggle of women, and she's finally gets to a point where she possesses these powers, and now she's starting to feel empowered. And it's just like I love the way that they handled her story. I thought it was just, her character arc was really, really good. It's just that final 20 minutes was just really, really goofy.
There's a lot of good stuff coming up here, and I want to because you guys are spot on too.
Hit him.
El Blancos makes a good point. Look at Robin Williams and Fisher King.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I mean, honestly, guys like him, even too, like he was a great dramatic actor too.
Oh, dude, like Good Will Hunting.
Oh, dude.
But no, you want to know it's underrated.
That's an amazing movie.
2 movies.
Dead
somebody
Poets Society,
mentioned
for the record.
Somebody mentioned this movie. I think it was during the last show in the chat. I can't remember who it was. 2 movies that I love of his that are really kind of underrated that sometimes get overlooked. Obviously, Good Will Hunting was amazing.
Yep.
Insomnia. Christopher Nolan directed with Al Pacino, Hilary Swank, and Robin Williams.
God, I haven't seen that in years.
Fucking awesome ass movie. That movie's amazing. Insomnia. The other one, and somebody mentioned it last time, 1 Hour Photo.
That's a good.
Cy the photo guy. Yeah,
dude, that's a really good fucking movie.
Yeah, dude. 1 Hour Photo was Blanco knows it was nuts. Like he is a real fucking weirdo in that movie, and it was just like, dude, this is Robin Williams. Yeah, funny guy.
So my favorite Robin Williams movie is and will always be Dead Poet Society. I'm a poet. My bleeding heart, poetic heart will always love that movie for as long as I live. And I absolutely love that movie, and that was one of my favorites that he ever did. So, but that's the point. Like you got these people like that are so good in these comedies, and I know we talk about this often, and I love that it's a central theme around here. But these are the guys that come out and do these characters and these roles, and they just completely destroy.
I thought you were gonna say Toys when you said his favorite movie, and I was like, dude,
that was actually Prime's. That was actually Prime's.
For my money, though, man, just he's so good in Good Will Hunting, and
such a good movie.
The ending scene, where he's like, "Will, it's not your fault." I remember I was in the theater and I was bawling, just because it's just, dude. Ron Williams was always just such a warm actor, he was very charismatic, and I mean, he was like the guy you're like, man, I just want to give this guy a hug. He was always just a warm character, and he was so good in Good Will Hunting, and that ending, man, I'm telling you, man, I was like seriously just teary eyed.
When the boys get on the desks and do "Oh Captain, My Captain," Dead Poet Society, boom!
Oh really?
I'm a complete I'm telling you, that movie is like
Mork and Mindy. I mean, obviously Mork and Mindy.
Nanu. I do love Mork and Mindy.
Man, I tell you what, there's a guy that I miss is Robin Williams. Just a talent like you wouldn't believe. Just
Prime, you are right about that too. The gold armor, when she gets that on, was trashed immediately.
Dude, where the fuck was she hiding it?
That's personal.
No, I mean seriously, that was the one part of the movie where I was that was like
she
one of the many
mentioned it
parts.
Early on, I think, though, didn't she? I thought she mentioned it early on.
Dude, she's flying through the sky on the way to that place. She doesn't. Where is it?
It might have been hidden in her apartment.
No, but when
ask her.
She's flying to this location, and she's over the water, and she's going to this island, and then she shows up, and she has it on. I'm like, where the fuck was she hiding it?
I'm wondering.
I was like, it was right. I understand it was in the apartment, but she's flying to the location. She's not going to the apartment. She's going to this island to break up whatever's going on, and it's the whole scene leading up to it.
I'm wondering if she calls it while she's in the sky. I don't fucking know.
Man, fuck that. That was just another dumbass. It makes no fucking quick stop. My ass. She's like, we got to get there right now. And she's flying, and then she goes back to the apartment. She was on her way there. It's fucking terrible. That movie sucked.
Some Prime reacted something to me and said,
wow, the cuddles.
Sit on a chair upside down, and then 6-piece nuggets in Soviet Russia, chair sit on you.
Oh, my Lanta. Wow.
Purse, man. You guys got some.
Oh, Blanco, knock it off.
Oh,
Clean it up. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
Wow.
We got the sophomore humor in here tonight.
Everybody's out tonight.
Kind of like
That's
it.
great.
Kind of like it.
I'm
I
into
like
it.
that kind of humor.
Way into it, Blanco.
No, I mean, it was just, I was really excited for this movie. I love any movie that goes back to the 80s, okay? Because I mean, there's so much potential.
All you gotta say is synth.
The soundtrack was weak, too. I like the licensed music.
It was so, yeah, like you hardly even heard her theme that you've heard in like some of the other movies. Finally, it clicked at the end for a minute. It's just like, dude, where's her music? Like,
yeah, dude, but there was like her music wasn't in there much, but I mean, it's the 80s. I didn't hear any like licensed music. I was like that was symbolic of the 80s. I was like, man, this kind of sucks. And
to bring it all together, to hopefully move on from this fucking topic too. The ending was so anticlimactic and bullshit anyways that it just like, what the fuck? Like it was just like you like I didn't know what was going on at first. And that's fine if it makes sense, but like then when you realize right, okay, that's what all right.
I was just like this. I couldn't really. There you go, Cuddles. See, I'm telling you, man, it was a really bad movie, and I don't like to argue with reviews because obviously reviews are. I like reviews. I mean, they're subjective and it's a person's opinion, and there's certain reviews that I can find like correlations with them. Like, okay, I understand their thought process here. It's kind of how I see movies, so I know who I can trust and who I am. But man, when I saw this movie was sitting at like whatever it was when it first came out on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like, oh wow, this is really good. And then I watched it and I was like, this is not really good.
It changed really fast after that movie came out too. The ratings really went.
Oh, did it plummet?
Oh yeah, you didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah,
was it the user reviews or was it the actual?
I don't recall. I just remember seeing the articles come through about saying that all those reviews changed real fast by the end of the day. I remember that. So.
And dude, Cuddles, it doesn't help. He says Wonder Woman 84 was so hard to finish too. Dude, it was 2.5 hours.
Oh, I still finished.
I know you finished. Fucking pervert. That is 2.5 hours is way too long for that. I mean, especially with a story that's so convoluted. But my understanding is this movie saw a lot of delays. There was a lot of delays with this movie. It was pushed back a lot, so who knows what was going on. Oh, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for all those subs, yo. We appreciate that.
Appreciate those subs, you guys and gals. Really, really appreciate you. But no, I wish it could have been better. I wish it would have been better, but unfortunately, this just was not a good follow up to the first one. So, who paid to watch this?
Well, I got HBO anyways.
HBO Max.
So technically, I kind of did because I love HBO Max. I know it's funny that Prime now has HBO Max, and he wouldn't shut up for the last 2 weeks about all the content on there. So
6-piece Nug, thank you so much for that. Those gift subs.
That was you. Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate you, dude.
Josh says stop eating. You fucking kidding me, dude? Look at me. Look at this. I can't stop.
It's sorry. Probably because he's hungry.
He is hungry. He's mad. He's mad at me. Fuck you, Josh.
I'm
gonna eat this whole box, dude. I'm gonna eat this whole box.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to see I'm gonna eat this box on Twitch, are you?
Don't look at me when you say that.
Oh my Atlanta. I'm gonna get fucking we're gonna get tagged for that one. Anyways, so that's our thoughts on Wonder Woman. I mean, did you have to add anything else to this? I mean, it was an abysmal movie.
What? I'm busy.
Are you poking her eye out? Don't do that. She's gonna. No, God, you didn't even wash your hands. I know you pooped.
That's a good hand. I'm right-handed anyways.
All right, let's move on to a better movie.
Really?
That we enjoyed. Yes. We're moving on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Come on, we're not gonna get into the other one yet. We're gonna talk about Pixar's Soul. Starring Jamie Foxx in the lead role, and Tina Fey
and Angela Bassett.
Now look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Angela Bassett, I swear to God, every year she gets 1 year older, gets 1 year hotter. I am an Angela Bassett stan for life. Angela Bassett is an absolutely. Not only is she talented as hell. I mean, she can play a hard-nosed, I'm gonna fuck you up chick in a movie.
Yeah.
But man, does she look good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Huge fan of Angela Bassett. Big fan. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way because huge fan of Angela Bassett. Knock it off.
It's uncomfortable now.
Knock it off. We'll take a cold shower. But yes, talented voice cast. Really, really good. And it was a moving story. It was a good story. Good performances from everybody. This is one of the best looking Pixar movies. There are some shots in this movie that are really,
it was
really
a
good.
beautiful
It's
fucking
a
film.
Gorgeous movie.
Absolutely.
Really, 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 really good movie. So I was really happy with the way it looked. I was happy with the story. If there was one critique, I didn't feel like it hit me like I was kind of hoping some of the other Pixar movies has, emotionally speaking. I love the story, and I love the concept of it, trying to figure out what's important in life, what your purpose is in life, and not letting one certain thing define what you're about. I love that part of it, but I didn't feel like the ending was quite as emotionally satisfying as I would hope. But it was good. It was really, really good.
I get that.
But I thought they were going to go, a little bit more of a harder hitting ending.
It's almost like if a Pixar movie doesn't really like hit you hard enough and you start bawling.
And there are some that do that, man. Toy Story 3, no joke, dude. Toy Story 3.
Made you, you got
the trash compactor, when they're in the trash compactor.
Spoiler alert.
They're all sitting there. And they all start holding hands because you're like, holy shit, are they going to fucking die right now?
Yeah.
And I'm not joking, dude. Right here, man. I had it going. Yep, holding hand, half-ass. He knows, dude. He knows. I mean, it's like it was one of the most like mature themed moments in a Toy Story game. I mean, they're all sitting there, and they all like are looking at each other, and you're just like, they're holding hands. You're like, holy fuck, are they really?
Are they
doing
really
going to
do this? And they really
are they really doing this? And I was like, man, this is oh man, Soul made me cry 3 times though. What are you talking about? I'm Sphinxy Cat. Like I got teared up when there's a scene where he's at his piano when I think things start to click. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of dig this part. But I mean, like Toy Story. I mean, there's been other movies, Pixar movies and cartoons that have hit me a lot harder. But I mean, it was an emotional flick. There are some good spots. I just didn't feel like it was a home run emotional flick. But if you cried 3 times and there's some things that you could connect with. Fuck what I think, Sphinxy. You loved it. You cried 3 times?
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know that I think I'm kind of more on par with you on that. I'm trying to remember right now at this point, too. I want to say that I definitely got hit on the feels pretty hard somewhere. Like I was probably dropped some, it was dusty in my home or something. But, but, man, the I don't know, there's something about this movie that still made it more unique outside of other Pixar movies, and maybe it was the lack of comedy to some degree. It was a very it
was a very mature movie.
It was a very mature movie.
Yep.
We watched it with the 13-year-old. She enjoyed it. I think
it touches on some pretty heady themes in there too, especially in the scene.
And that's important.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's
really
why
is,
Disney's important.
When she has people telling her you have no purpose and stuff like that, that stuff can lead to some dark areas. And I thought that was really interesting how they kind of explored that, and they did it in a way where it wasn't too dark. And I mean, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about these things. There are things we need to talk about when people feel like there's no purpose to life. Mm-hmm. That leads to a lot of dark areas. And I feel like they did a good job of kind of like exploring
a lot of that stuff. And
I
think that's what part of the reason why like I really felt like at least attuned into the movie.
Yep. I thought that was really strong. I thought that was a really good way to They towed the line. They didn't make it too dark.
Right.
But they said, hey, look, it's really difficult for a lot of people when they can't find purpose. It's very difficult for them.
Yeah.
And that leads to some really rough
There was
shit.
a lot of great messages in the movie.
Yep.
It's definitely not, again, we say, you're overly comedic or fun Pixar. Maybe not the ones that are overly emotional because it is real. You know what I mean? But all that said, it's a fantastic fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you want from a Disney and Pixar movie in some degree, especially more, I think, if you're adults. I think that's that's one of the things I like about a lot of Disney movies and Pixar movies both is that, and I know they work together, but they're still separate. But, there's a lot of things that goes over kids' heads, and that's fine because they do know, adults like us are, I'm always going to be a Disney adult till I die. I'm a kid at heart, so I love Disney, pretty much anything. But this movie was just it was a lot of beauty in it, and it was the music like we were talking about beforehand, jazz music.
I love jazz.
Because that's why everything about it fits about finding purpose in the things that what you do or don't think of your life maybe, or how you roll with your life, or what you're doing with your life. Yes,
try not to let life certain things consume you.
Right, which made jazz music perfect for it because that's all jazz music is soul. It's all about coming from inside of you. So everything about it was honestly just a fucking beautiful film. I can't talk great enough about it, and I totally hope that everybody gets a chance to watch it because, again, it's not, go into it just knowing I'm going to watch an enjoyable movie. You may or may not get overly emotionally tied to it, but I guarantee you're going to watch it and be like, wow, that was a really good movie. And
it's deep.
You're going to be moved by it. It's a very moving film.
And I want to touch on what he says, man. I love jazz, and jazz has a special place in my heart because when I was a child, when I was really small still, and my mom wanted to help me sleep, she would play jazz music.
No shit.
She would play jazz music in the house, and that was always what calmed me down and always got me to sleep. So I've always had a fondness for jazz music. And when I see a movie like this, it's so good. And I love how they explore the things, how when a musician's in the zone, that scene where he's playing and he gets in the zone, I was like, dude, that's so fucking rad because that's so true how it is for all these musicians. They just kind of block everything out and they're just in, and it was so good.
I'm so glad you said that because that was one of my takeaways from the movie too, was that I love when media or whatever puts almost like a picture to something you've just only thought about.
Yep.
And how they did that with the in the zone and how they explained that was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. I loved it. And everybody can connect with that. And they made it so everybody can connect with it.
Yep.
But musicians, it's almost like this different level thing.
Oh, it's a different thing for them.
But man, yeah, I thought that was awesome. That was brilliant writing on their part.
Oh, it was really good.
I was really into that.
And I don't know, speaking of jazz movies, have you ever seen Whiplash?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Okay. This is a homework assignment for everybody. Whiplash with J.K. Simmons is fucking incredible. It is seriously one of my favorite movies based around music that I've ever seen. J.K. Simmons, I think he won an Oscar for. I think he won Best Supporting Actor. He is incredible in Whiplash. Yes, Cuddles knows. Whiplash is amazing. I can't remember the other guy, the kid's name who plays along him. He's an upcoming actor. He's been in a lot of good stuff.
This is a newer movie?
It's probably about what 3. I want to say 5 or anywhere to 5-6 years ago. 6 years ago. It's something. The kid's name is Teller. Something Teller. Miles Teller. But I can't remember what it is. I think Miles Teller. I want to say that's what it is, Miles Teller. But Miles Drivers is okay. Yeah, Whiplash do it. But I mean, it's J.K. Simmons is this super demanding
2014
school teacher. He's a music teacher. Very demanding, and you don't know what to make of him, and you learn to hate him through the fucking movie. But it's the underlying story, and the way it ends, you're just like, that was fucking awesome.
Thanks, guys.
It is really, really good. There you go, Miles Teller. Okay, yeah, Miles Teller. Whiplash 4K. If you guys get a chance, if it's on, I don't know if it's on streaming services, please watch Whiplash. Awesome jazz music, but incredible performances all around. Whiplash is a fucking awesome movie. Huge fan.
May have to check that out.
Whiplash, another awesome jazz movie with a great story. But Soul, loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was an endearing story. It was a good story. It explored a lot of different things. Great performances all around. Great music, and it looked great. Some of the lighting and way. It's hard to believe that these are.
The animation in this. Yeah, I agree with you on that too. And I think because it was more, a lot of it had a lot of real world feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had this almost surreal, really. I don't know. I don't want to say lifelike look, but I know exactly what you're talking. When you see it and watch it, you'll see it. There was just something very, very. Man, I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. I want to think of for this, but it just felt so real. I don't know.
No, it's a great flick. I mean, big fan. If you guys check it out, Inside Out. The kid was in the he was in the terrible Fantastic Four movie. Miles Teller was in there.
Okay.
He was also in was it War Dogs with Jonah Hill. It's directed by the guy who did Joker, Todd Phillips. War Dogs, I believe, is the one with Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. Good flick.
Yo, these pretzels are what's up.
So, moving on from Soul to the more controversial movie, and this is where we will bring in one of our viewers. Tricky Regent will be a part of this discussion in just a moment.
Trickety trick.
But our next topic, Netflix's Midnight Sky. Starring and directed by George Clooney. And it has a hell of a cast. Great cast. All around. I mean, great actors, actresses, all over the place. Great movie. Sci-fi. Yeah, let's go. I'm going to let you start first with this movie.
So, Cappadocian texted me one night or day or whatever, and he's like, man, have you seen that Midnight Sky on Netflix yet? I'm like, no. He's like, dude.
We won't spoil anything, Cuddles. I'm going to spoil one thing, though.
dude, he's like, man, I watched it. And he's like, I need you to watch it because it just blew my fucking mind. I'm like, okay, I was pretty serious about this. I'll give it a shot, And I watched it, and I watched it late in the evening. It was like, I started at like midnight and ended or 2:30 or something. I was like, man, I really should be going to bed, but I'm really hooked on this movie. I really dug a lot of the direction of the movie. And all the stuff I'm going to say positively now has been kind of tarnished a little bit because when we started talking about it a little bit deeper today, you started putting that perspective. I'm like, okay. So I enjoyed the movie. Of course, I love sci-fi, and what I liked about it is that there was a lot of, with George specifically, a lot of things clearly going on with his character.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of things going on in the world. There's crises, things that happen, whatever. But it felt like only part of the movie was sci-fi, which was really unique to me. And then when you kind of almost they transitioned more into the sci-fi, it was just like, whoa. And then like the movie is gorgeous. Like, holy shit. Like 4K Ultra. Like, it is crisp when you're watching this. And somebody who loves sci-fi, when you see like, spaceships in the future and things like that, you need that crispness and you want that kind of like, you really want to feel that that imagination, that sci-fi-ness of it, and
you want the depth of space.
Yes, and they did that. So that was so awesome. So, when you're dealing with the things that George Clooney is Earthside, and you're like, man, this is kind of crazy, and then it kind of pushes on because it's really not about those necessarily, and then you start seeing things that his character is dealing with. He's kind of alone. You're like, man, this kind of sucks. You start feeling in tune with that character. And then it kind of transitions into more of the sci-fi sense of it and what's going on outside of the planet as well, too. You start like, I personally start kind of almost forgetting about him to a degree.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's kind of the part
of the idea. It's not a good thing. It's George Clooney.
Right. And then it'll bring it back around and stuff like that. And he's got these tough decisions to make. He starts making these tough decisions. There's a lot of bad going on here. And in this role, you almost kind of got to wonder, like, what is somebody going to do, right? And at first, for me, like, I'm like, this is quite a struggle. This sucks. This character's got to go through a lot. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he's dying basically.
Right.
He's got to do transfusions on himself.
Right. And then by the time you're, done with the movie, and there's I don't know if it's a twist. It's kind of a pseudo twist or a realization, we'll say. I was just like, and I think this is where Cap was at. He was like, man, I just had no idea, and what is this, and that's kind of how I felt too. Like, man, like I completely missed that. Was it obvious? Like, holy shit, it got me in the feels. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, damn, like I really was feeling that movie. Like I enjoyed this movie. I think I texted you even late that day. And it's like, dude, you gotta watch this fucking movie. We gotta talk about it. Like, holy shit, no one's talking about this movie, And I'm like, man, this is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And then I stopped having a good time because then you watched it and told me I couldn't have a good time with it.
Look, before we get into my side of it, Tricky Regent is kind of going to be the deciding factor here.
Is he the deciding factor?
I'm going to let you get your stuff on. Now, look, we're still trying to work on how we will make this happen. Why did Tone just turn into Pesci? That's fucking hilarious.
What, am I, a clown or something over here?
Do I make you laugh? Do I amuse you?
Yeah, do I amuse you?
So what we want to do with this is we want to be able to bring some of you into the stream while we're having a discussion and chime in on certain things. Now, there's still, like I said, we're gonna roll this out in phases, but this allows to have some of our viewers hop in, be a part of the discussion, share their opinion, and obviously this is something that we would like to grow into, maybe more than probably like almost every segment. That's what we're trying to go to. But there's certain things we got to work on first. We want to tweak things, make sure it sounds good for you, the viewers. Make sure that it's, we don't, make sure we have a screening process because, as Banter and Babble grows, obviously we'll get more people in. But I think right now what we're going to keep this to is we're going to keep this to subs and to people who have been around for a long time that we know and trust, people that we know in IRL, basically. That way we can kind of limit or like basically eliminate having like just some random show up and just start saying some off-colored shit. So, but let me see here if I got this right.
So we're adding a sub channel in the Discord.
Adding a sub channel to the Discord. And we're gonna
get that set for everybody. So anybody that's a subscriber will have a specific channel.
Tricky, are you in the chat? I don't think he's in the chat.
He's in the chat. I can see him.
Is he in the chat?
He's in the chat.
Can you hear him? Oh, yep, there he is.
I heard him for a second.
Did you hear him?
I did hear him
for
a second.
There he is. There he is. Tricky.
There we go.
All right, can everyone hear Tricky? Tricky, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
I'm Tricky Regent, friend of the dude. Work with him up in Saginaw.
Awesome. Perfect.
Gamer.
Perfect. All right, Tricky, you are the first caller into this show. First caller ever. This is pretty rad. Pretty excited about this.
It's pretty awesome.
I want to get your thoughts on Midnight Sky. What did you think of Midnight Sky? Share them with us.
I wasn't really sure. Watching the whole movie, I think I wanted to be more maybe emotionally drawn in. I felt like, that's where the movie was going, and then I didn't really get that, until maybe the very end.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the sci-fi part of it. Wasn't really sure what was going on. I guess maybe, I know some people don't like the character development, but I wanted more of that, or to at least know what was going on the planet.
Yes.
Because we don't really know. Basically it's doomsday, end of the world. And then we're just trying to figure out what's going on. I guess that was my biggest thing was I didn't really know what was going on,
right.
And then you've got George Clooney's character who's going through some things. He's sick. Then you get this little girl that comes in and you're like, oh, okay. So I don't know if we're doing spoilers or not, so I'm not going to go there. But,
yeah. We try to.
I don't know.
Some people haven't seen it yet.
Right. So I don't know. I didn't feel emotionally attached to it.
Sure.
I don't know. It was just kind of, I wanted more. You had, Felicity Jones.
Yep.
I liked her character, but we needed more from her.
Yeah,
I just didn't feel like there was enough in it.
Yeah. No, and I agree with what Tricky's saying. Like you said, I know you kind of explained things to me beforehand. Here's what was going on Earth. I didn't see that part that you were telling me about that describes what's going on Earth, and that was part of the thing that bothered me because we're not getting explanations on what's going on Earth. We're not getting a whole lot of stuff that's going on K-23. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of. I had more questions than I did answers after watching this
And not the right
movie.
way, because you want questions that make you think, not questions like, well, it's kind of like there's loose ends or something.
Right. Yeah, the story,
Right.
and for a movie like this, when you have this ending, and I understand, and we won't get into the twist. There is a twist at the end, but here's my problem with this movie. And Tricky, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that feedback, too. Thank you for sharing that, and thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate you.
Yep, appreciate it, fellas.
Later, homie.
Yeah.
So, here, and I agree with what he's saying, and I do there are a lot of elements that I like about this movie. Like you said, technically speaking, it's wonderfully shot. George Clooney directed this, and he does a very good job at certain elements of it. But my biggest concern with this movie is this is a sci-fi movie. Now, yes, it takes place 29 years in the future. A lot of advancements could have, probably have been made. Certain things can be done, what have you. This movie lost me when George Clooney is they're in this container.
Here it comes.
And they're in Antarctica, or they're in the Arctic, whatever. One of the fucking cold poles. That's where they're at.
Oh.
And he's sitting in this container, and water starts to rush in. Okay. And he's swimming around in the water, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get out of here." And so he gets the girl out, and he's running through this water, and then his snowmobile that they're riding around is slipping into the water, and it has a package on there that's very important to him that he needs. And the snowmobile falls in the water, and George Clooney is in the water swimming after it. He stops and looks at it as
in the Arctic.
In the Arctic. He's swimming and looking at it like, shit, can I make it to this? And then he stops and he's thinking a little bit more. He's like, oh, fuck, I should probably get back to the surface. Then he swims back up like he's swimming in Lake Michigan. Like he's good, okay? If you're going to make a sci-fi movie that's based on science, you better fucking address hypothermia. Look, I wanted to like this movie a lot, okay? I really wanted to like this movie. I've done the polar plunge in Saginaw, okay? Saginaw is not the Arctic. I've jumped into a lake where a hole is cut out in the ice, and you jump in for money. You raise money for a charity, and you get out. Dude, when I jump into this water, I am basically fighting the firefighters in the water trying to get you out. I am trying to get out that fucking fast. The water will seriously stick you with like pins and needle. It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And George Clooney is just swimming through like it's a nice summer day in Lake Michigan. Do I go after that thing? He has the presence of mind to stop and figure out, do I go for it or not? Fuck that shit. As soon as that water hits me in the container, I am running for the highest peak in that fucking continent. I was like, what is going on? And then, to make matters worse, George Clooney swims to the surface, gets up on the ice and the snow, and puts a fucking coat on, and trudges across Antarctica or wherever they're at for another day and a half. Don't work like that, y'all. The minute I get out of the polar plunge, I'm in a fucking tent with hot cocoa and heaters running for 40 minutes before I'm comfortable. My man puts a coat on and walks across the Arctic, digs up a hole, lays in that on the snow. He good. That guy would be fucking dead. And that's where that movie lost me immediately. I was like, okay, this is really stupid. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. That I was just like, I can't. There's no way I can believe this. Now, look, it's sci-fi. It's sci-fi. And I get it. When you're in 2049, you got to suspend a little disbelief. There's a lot of like, could this be a thing? I don't know. He's like 60 years old. He's dying. You fall in this fucking water. I don't care what kind of advancements we made over the next 20 years. You're fucking dead. Because we've been around for a long time. If Arctic water wasn't so bad, I'd be able to do the polar plunge and just stay in the water all day. You can't do that. I was like, this is really stupid. And then my other issue with this movie, and this is nitpicky, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, but it just annoys me because I said it before it happened. I was watching it with my wife. There is with the other cast are up in a space station, and they're like, we got to do a spacewalk. We got to go out and fix the space station. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see what's going on. That's cool. They're going to go out there. And then immediately it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. George Clooney directed this, and George Clooney was in Gravity. And I told my wife, I'm like, look, these people are outside on the space station. They just been hit by a meteor strike. And I was like, okay, but they were inside. They're outside fixing stuff. I'm like, if this fucking space station gets hit by a meteor strike while they're outside fixing it and somebody dies, I'm turning this fucking movie off. And they get through everything, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going back inside. We made it. And then the radar starts flashing. And I'm like, he is not copying this. He is not the director of this movie and copying Gravity. And sure enough, it happened. Once we got to that part, I didn't give a fuck about the twist at the ending. I didn't fucking care about the twist at the end. The twist at the ending was actually kind of underwhelming. Had everything been good leading up to it, I would have been like, oh, man, that's cool. But by that point, I was like, this sucks. I can't believe that these are the choices that he made in this movie. I couldn't do it, you guys. I know the twist, like I said, the twist would have been good. It was a cool twist. Could have been a lot better had I not hated some of the shit that happened leading up to it. And then the very ending, I was just like, okay, that's anticlimactic and really stupid because, again, I don't get any fucking answers to what is going on here. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at. I mean, this should have been a really good movie. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of good things like about it. The cast is able. They're talented. The production values are through the roof. But, man, when I see George Clooney swimming through the Antarctic waters, I was like, okay, we're done here.
And so now here we are. And Blanco, you're right. He should have learned from Mr. Freeze, by the way, in Batman and Robin. I do agree with that. Somebody said maybe it was an electric coat. I don't know if any of that stuff.
I don't fucking care.
I don't know. I don't know if at that point would. Yeah.
Who said it was electric coat?
I don't remember.
Was it Cuddles? That's the only person I would allow to say that.
But yeah, so somebody said that, but that made me laugh. Yeah. So now after you had said all that, matter of fact, after you watched the movie, you actually knocked on my door because you'd slashed my tires for making you watch it. which was really weird, but okay. Now that you've said a lot of that stuff, now I got my brain ticking, and I'm like, because now I can't stop thinking about
and
that
I'm not
shit.
trying
That
to
bothers
say,
me too.
and I'm not trying to like discredit the movie, man, but like it's certain experiences, like I look at it like how certain experiences, like Prime, he has served his country well, he was in the military, and I'm sure there's probably things in movies where he's just like, that's fucking, there's no way,
Right?
That's stupid. But I mean, he also understands that action in action movies is action in action movies. There's a certain level of disbelief,
Right?
But I'm sure there are certain things where it's trying to be projected as real. And even Prime is like, no, it doesn't work like that. And I'm not saying a polar plunge makes me an expert in freezing water, but it makes me an expert to know that shit fucking hurts, and I want out immediately. Right. I'm not swimming around.
Cold water, it like seizes your muscles. They like, you can't move.
That's when I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't.
So, anyways, at the end of the day, for me, I enjoyed parts of the movie. It was a beautiful
movie.
And then I ruined
the rest of it.
It was great graphically. It was fucking beautiful, fucking movie. The small shed of light that I enjoyed this movie is now gone, and I never will watch it ever again. To be fair. To be fair,
it was just, like I said, it's not Wonder Woman 84.
No,
mean, I didn't feel like I was wasting my time, but I did feel like, man, this could have been.
Yeah,
better.
see, that's like I felt like Wonder Woman 84 was borderline. Like I kind of felt like I wasted my time because there's no payoff. I don't feel like this movie wasted my time. I still enjoyed it to some degree. I used to, anyways, until you ruined it. So.
It does give a boost to your immune system. And I remember Prime told me that, was like, you know what? And I looked up and was like, oh, it does. That's cool. I don't give a fuck. He's 60 years old and he's dying. He's not going to be swimming around the water.
So it's Prime.
Fuck how much boost.
Yeah.
Prime is old as fuck,
he's
isn't
like
he?
60
That's
years
how he
old.
would know.
That's how he would know.
Wonder Woman was a surprising waste of time. Don't get me started. We'll waste more time talking about it.
Yeah.
But
it was not a great movie.
All right.
It was not a good time.
Moving on. How you doing?
I'm scared.
No, I mean, are you doing okay? I mean, you're drinking beers? It's kind of chill.
It's probably a good point.
Christ.
Probably a good point.
Sorry, guys and gals. We'll be right back. Well, while we were away, I decided to dig into the jam. There's like this jam and bread, and it's so good.
I washed my dick mittens.
Oh my god! Fucking gross human being. Of course, he takes the opportunity to go pee. I just smash my face with I'm just eating everything out of here right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, good.
I want to know if these pretzels must be made locally because I'm a pretzel guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fucking awesome. You can tell they're like made fresh.
Well, we're good.
Yeah. Good. And I want a quick shout out before we get in the discussion to my mom and dad for this awesome Christmas gift of a Mando t-shirt. They know me well. Clearly.
I love Star Trek.
Anyone knew? What do you want from me?
Yeah. They're grapes.
They're grapes, yeah.
There's grapes, there's pretzels. They have this, man, we might as well. I'm sorry, guys. I don't fucking care. This is brown mustard. I got a little brown.
Oh, is it? Try some brown.
Oh, my God.
It's stone ground, too.
Mm-hmm. Stone ground, mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
I'm not even much. I'm a pickle guy. These are garlic pickles.
They're good.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's so good. I mean, sorry, guys. You can hear me just eat the whole fucking time here. All right. I'm done.
I think you're eating some ass.
I digress. Actually, I can probably turn off my mic because you're going to talk for an hour here.
I'm not familiar with Star Trek. No, kidding.
Yes, let's get into it, dude. Season finale. We didn't get a chance to talk about because we were off.
Mm-hmm.
But Mandalorian.
We want to bring it full circle.
Season 2 has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And what was arguably, maybe not even arguably, the best episode of the series so far.
Some people are calling it some of the best Star Wars in many, many moons, actually, for them, this season
Star Wars
finale.
In general.
Yes, like...
Star Wars storytelling.
Yes. Some people are saying that this season finale was better than the entire sequel trilogy combined, even. That is words that people have been saying. Lots of words people have been saying. I'm going to start this out with saying...
First of all, I think we should be able to... If you haven't seen this yet, it's on you. I think you should be able... I'm giving him carte blanche. He can do whatever he wants. He can talk about whatever he wants. If you haven't seen this yet, I can't help you. Okay?
Right.
I can't help you. You've had 3 fucking weeks.
You,
sir, are unleashed. No filter.
All right.
I want your thoughts on this amazing episode.
I'm going to try, and I know sometimes I get long-winded these. I'm going to try and keep myself at least somewhat wrangled to a degree. But
not right now.
Here's the thing. This episode, literally, I'm going to out with it. When it started to unfold towards the last 10 minutes, and a certain X-Wing showed up, and a lot of people were like, there were still people out there who were like, oh, blah, blah, New Republic's here. Yay, save the day. Like, what are they going to do?
There was a name people were throwing around of who it might have been. Not Ahsoka. Somebody else in that storyline. There was another Jedi, another big
like
name.
Cal Kestis from the G game?
I don't know if that was the name, but there was another name that people were throwing going, oh, I wonder if this is so-and-so.
Maybe Ezra was another name?
Ezra, that's the one.
Ezra, they thought maybe Ezra.
There were people I was reading about, they're going, oh, man. Because I went on, after I watched it, I went on YouTube and watched the reaction videos.
Yeah.
Where people were watching it, and people were like, oh, man, is this fucking Ezra? Is this fucking Ezra? And I was like, oh, I never thought, I don't know who Ezra is, but I was like, oh, there's a lot of people that thought that was Ezra.
A lot of people thought maybe Cal Kestis, thought maybe Ezra, and then the hope beyond all hope, and rebellions are definitely built on hope, as we all know.
Yes.
When I saw that X-Wing, I'm not kidding you. For my I always call them my Star Wars friends, the Drastons, Rohit Raju, and some of these guys. There's a small group of us, there's a clique of us that play Battlefront 2 whenever we can still. That we talk Star Wars all day. We meme Star Wars memes all day that are just that kind of stuff. I had to, after this episode, go to them and be like, hey, I just want you guys to know. I was kind of putting the feelers in them, like, I kind of started crying, like, right away. Am I alone on that? And they were, like, pretty much everybody's like, no, man, it's cool. I'm like, whew! Because, like, when that X-Wing flew by the bridge, I instantly went, like, oh, my God, no, there's no way. They're not doing this. Are they really doing this? I knew instantly. Like, I just felt like I knew instantly. And everybody else was like, when I watched some of these reaction videos, you're hearing all these names, and I'm talking to everybody else, and they're like, oh, we thought blah, blah, blah. And even in the show, like, Cara Dune's like, oh, fucking New Republic, one X-Wing, fucking sweet.
I'm going to interject in between as you talk about this, just so I can throw my shots in as you're talking about certain things. When I saw the X-Wing, I didn't even think of that.
Right.
I didn't even think of that, but at the same time, I was just like, actually, I said, no, it's not. There's no way. There's no way.
You're right.
I don't know who it is. I don't think there's no way.
I was completely like, I was just going, there's no way. And Drassen definitely, he said it earlier about why he didn't like Soul, because he has none. He's completely unemotional. And this even brought him to this. And when it landed, and I'm just the entire time, like, as soon as I saw it, like I said, I didn't even know, like, all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, why am I fucking tearing up? Like, this is weird out of nowhere, right? I mean, there's no way they're going to do this. No way they're going to do this, right? This is a perfect timeline. They're trapped in the bridge. The fucking dark troopers are pounding on the fucking door.
Those guys are creepy. There's the music. I love how the music was all in tune with their movements.
Their theme music, for the record, was some of the best of that entire series.
Yeah, dude, it was all in tune with their movements. I was like, man, that's dope, dude.
So clearly, we all know they're trying to get Grogu to a Jedi. Yep. Grogu communes with somebody any Jedi out there is going to hear him. And beyond all hope, again, we would never think, because the way the sequel trilogy was handled and how they handled this character fractured the entire fucking fan base. Yep. It really did. And over time, myself included, is one of those people who have really kind of been turned off to the sequel trilogy.
Sure.
Because of how some of that stuff was handled. You see this cloaked character get out and just start lambasting these dark troopers.
With a saber.
With a lightsaber.
But we don't know, because
it's in a black and white scene, which is brilliant.
That's when I first said, what color is it?
Exactly. Because, this is post-Jedi.
Actually, it was two things. The lightsaber and the glove.
Right.
I saw the glove and I was like, what color is that fucking lightsaber? And I waited.
As soon as it started getting colored and you saw the glove, and you saw the green, and you're like, that's fucking Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Dude, and I mean, I know it hit you guys really hard. Even myself, somebody who doesn't know as much as you guys do, I got, like, my nipples got hard, and, like, all of a sudden I got the like a misty eye. I was like, oh my God, this is really him right now.
Dude, as soon as you saw that, I was like, again, it just turned on. I couldn't control it. And here's the thing, like, to explain anything when you're here's the thing, like, and I've talked about it before. I've been a Star Wars fan since seeing A New Hope on VHS for the first time in the 80s, when we got a VHS in like 85 or 86, whenever it was, I don't fucking know. And then watching ESB, Empire Strikes Back, over and over, because we taped it off the TV when it finally became they put the Star Wars movies on Sundays, when like ABC 12 would do like Sunday movies, and they did, first time they were ever on TV, we taped them on VHS, and I would watch Empire over and over, and Boba Fett was always my character. That was my thing. So that's why this entire series and everything going on with it is so special to me. However, the point I'm trying to make is, you're talking 30 years of investment into a product or into a something, you're going to get emotionally attached to it.
Absolutely.
That's just the reality of it. Like, there's a lot of things that I love retro. I love, He-Man. I love Transformers, things like that. Wrestling, all this stuff. Like I tell everybody, I'm a big kid. I'm never going to grow up. That's just not how I roll. Star Wars is different. And when you blast through the sequel trilogy and it's not what you want from certain characters, and Mandalorian's bringing everybody together and done something that these movies couldn't do and should have done, and even the prequels fractured parts of the fan base.
Sure did.
And it was, again, Filoni, who his work with the Clone Wars and his work with Rebels brought a lot of people together. And this show has done that to the nth degree. Now, to see a character like this, to see a time frame of a character that everybody's wanted to see for 20 some plus years, since the, just really since even the end of a Jedi, we've never gotten that, is so surreal for sure. But it's also like it's this feeling of complete uncontrollable joy. I mean, this is the guy. This was the, this is why, for the most part, the stories are always about the Skywalker. The main movies are Skywalkers, and you can even debate it's a lot more about Anakin or whatever. But we were always introduced to Luke first. That's our guy. That was our guy, right?
Dude, yeah.
He was the good guy of all good guys growing up. He had to deal with a lot of dark, no pun intended on that, but he had to deal with a lot of different things. And to have these guys, the guys that are in control of this product, have the ability to, in some almost way, without even realizing it, by the way, because when I found this out the other day, this was kind of mind-blowing, to kind of repair how the sequel trilogy took that character, or at least maybe give more background and more direction for where that ends up going, or just even seeing that time frame and nobody expecting it, because you've heard the Jedi. We should have seen, like, we should have known and seen all the stuff coming up to this, and no one ever really did.
Right.
But because nobody ever expected it, because we had been so disappointed with so much of the main big product of those characters.
Yep.
Why would anybody think that, Luke Skywalker would be the one to show up? I knew when I saw the X-Wing, it was instant for me. I'm like, that's fucking, it's Rogue 5, or Red 5, Rogue, whatever you want to say. That's his fucking X-Wing. I just knew. And when he comes through and he busts into the room, and you've got all the Mandalorians are just kind of standing there, kind of like, whoa. And I think it's kind of funny. People joke like, "Are you the Jedi?" And he's like, "Well, you didn't kind of know, like, duh, right?" So we get past the part that we're seeing Luke, and you get to see him come down the hallway in shades of Phantom Menace. There's ties to that, but more importantly, the ties I like is it's almost like this mirror setup of how Rogue One was with Vader, with his father. You got to see Vader do his thing.
One moment, yep.
Dude, and you got to see him just bust through, and because in Jedi you saw him fight his dad, and you didn't see a whole lot, but then you got to see him and actually do some real work with the Force, just like we saw
the crunch,
dude.
All
that stuff.
I was just like, oh my god, that was.
I finished Rogue One the other night, and I noticed, I was watching a little bit more attentively, and I always watch that scene when Vader's coming down the hallway and he's doing shit. There are definitely some similarities to what's going on.
Absolutely.
Both of them,
absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And that's really cool, and I've loved that. And then you get the scene at the end, and it's almost really like the Phantom Menace scene, which Samwise, Captain Cronesy mentioned, was that it was almost very similar to parts of Phantom Menace when they were trying to break into Newt Gunray's and stuff like that, and they're holding them out and dealing with droids. And it's kind of a flip of that, and you see the smoke, and you see just the lightsaber at first.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus. I mean, it's so fucking iconic already. So, he gets in there, and you're already trying to process the stuff that Luke is here, right? That you're seeing a CG version of Mark Hamill and a younger set of himself, and then Mando's got to say,
dude, that's when I really got hit, man. Just because, man, Pedro Pascal. Do you know it's incredible? The thing about his performance as Mando, or what's his actual name,
Din Djarin.
The thing that makes that I appreciate about Pedro Pascal is to be able to act while wearing a helmet is incredibly difficult. It's really difficult to get kind of like that translation across, but it's all about your mannerisms. It's all about the way you deliver your lines. You don't have the luxury of using your face and to kind of display your emotions and convey how you're feeling and how your character is. He is incredibly good wearing a mask the whole time. But the final scene where he's holding Grogu, and Grogu like reaches out, he's like want to see you, bro. And he takes it off, and he has that that moment. And then as he's leaving with Luke, that's when I was just like, oh, because Pedro Pascal was just so good at conveying that emotion. Finally, he gets an opportunity after 2 seasons to really, a second opportunity to really kind of like show what he can do without a mask on, and it was a great scene.
Yeah, and we got kind of hints early on with the episode when they attack that small Imperial base, and he takes his helmet off, that he's clearly seen a bigger, broad spectrum of the universe or the galaxy.
Tied to that belief.
Right. And I think that's going to come around again real soon because of how everything ended with the Darksaber. And I know we're not going to get too deep into that necessarily, but he's got the Darksaber now. He beat Moff Gideon. Technically, the Dark.
It's a whole issue.
A whole issue because of Bo-Katan and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing. Who knows where that's going to lead into, and we'll get into that in a minute.
Before we push on from that, the thing that I think that I really liked about Luke, especially in a general sense, and you kind of touched on a little bit, is I feel like that was the cleansing that character needed after what they'd kind of done with him in the final 3 movies. He was reduced to kind of this old curmudgeon, this. I don't want to say a coward in a way, but he's trying to avoid a fight. Half time he's staying on an island. He's not being a part of things.
Yeah.
And that's not the heroic Luke.
That's not what, here's the thing. That's not what people want to see, and I get it now.
Right.
I understand that. I do also, on the other flip side, they say that, well, Yoda did the same thing, and basically so did Ben. So
and that's true. But I
to a degree, but
I feel like Luke as much as I love Ben and I love Yoda, I feel like Luke is more of a. He's the face of the fucking franchise. Yoda is important.
Right.
Ben is important.
Right.
But Luke is.
Everybody wanted to see Luke Skywalker. The problem is we waited 30, 40 some years for the sequel trilogy to come out when realistically they should have been out either in the 90s or like 15 years earlier to be able to see a younger Mark Hamill, at least in some ability to be what everybody wants to see. All you get is a taste of what Luke could be. You never got to see what he was.
Right.
And that's the problem. And by the time you get to the part of where he was, you don't see that. You just see where he ended up. It's kind of like you're missing a big chunk of it. It's like having a fucking bread sandwich with no meat in the middle of it.
It's like you see him, Michael Jordan before he starts winning championships. And then you see Michael Jordan playing baseball. That's the next time you see him. You're just like, oh man,
what the fuck?
Where
exactly.
was the prime? Where was his best years? You get to see him leading up to it. He's still getting beat by the Pistons. He's not quite that good yet. And next thing you know, he's playing baseball. You're like, what the fuck happened to everything in here where he got 6 titles?
So what I found out the other day, and we'll spin off the Luke thing in a second. What I found the other day was that they filmed that a year and a half ago before Rise of Skywalker came out.
Mark Hamill knew about
this
that?
has been a secret for that long. Apparently, this is twice they've done it. They did it with the Baby Yoda too, with Grogu originally. Remember? Yep. They kept that a secret. No one knew anything about that.
It's true.
Apparently, when they do the if you haven't seen it, the behind the scenes kind of thing that they do of each season of Mando on Disney Plus, it was so secretive that hardly anybody knew that Mark Hamill was around on set for a day or two for being involved in this.
How do you not know Mark Hamill's around?
They kept it minimal fucking crew, like minimal, and they had to be careful. Apparently,
they probably had to sign a bunch of NDAs. Like, hey man, you can't say a fucking word.
There's a documentary crew around, and they don't have him on tape, so they weren't even involved in this. They didn't know, so nobody knew. And that's that. So that came out recently. So that was post Last Jedi. So already the burn of that,
right?
And then Rise of Skywalker kind of tried to help fix parts of that. But he was dressed as Lucas. There you go.
George is here again.
Right. So that's pretty wild that they were doing that for a while. Or knew about that for a while and kept secret. And
got a question from
what's that?
Is the Clone Wars series of 2003 canon?
No, it's not, unfortunately. And that actually was a really good series. That's the guy who did the art style for Samurai Jack. I actually have both of those on DVD. Those were scrapped and rebooted as the current Clone Wars as we know it with Filoni and Dave Filoni.
Thanks for that follow, Senko. Appreciate you.
But yeah, that's a really obscure random question. I actually do really like that art style. That's just really random off top. But
hey, are they worth watching?
They're not canon. Just going to that. They're definitely worth watching. They're really cool. There's no dialogue in them. But it's really fucking cool actually. I actually really enjoyed them. But anyways, so the Luke stuff was crazy. You had to see that. But then somebody mentioned it a little bit ago. One of the most amazing and favorite parts of Star Wars and iconic characters. It was all badass as not to see Luke show up. And I'm not going to say it's better, but more of a surprise. But the extra surprise in it to see one of the greatest characters in the entire series who fits into everything.
Yep.
You fucking see R2 motherfucking D2 show up too.
Shows up, yep.
Get the fuck out of here. That alone, that was another. I marked out hard for that because I love R2D2. He's one of my favorite characters of the entire.
You get that R2 sequence where he looks at Grogu and
he's like, exactly. And there's some back and forth behind the scenes talk about like their potential knowledge of knowing each other, but I keep joking that I kind of want to see, like, I kind of want to follow the three of them because I kind of want to see a Grogu and R2D2 like spin off, like a buddy cop film or something. Like, what are they going to be like? Because as we all know, there's the bit with Yoda and stuff like that, and R2 and things like that, and how that was entertaining. Like, I'd love to see a younger version of that species, kind of clown around with R2 because R2 is the fucking man. So, yeah.
Sanko said, I just want to say that I really like your mood and your stream. You've won a secure follower. We appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you very
so
much. No, and I feel like that's the next thing we need to kind of talk
Jay.
about is because where do we go from here?
So you get to the end credits, you get through part of the end credits, and then all of a sudden you see Boba Fett walk into the old school Bomark Monastery, now owned by, originally Jabba the Hutt, and then now clearly his major domo, who is still alive, Bib Fortuna, sitting on the throne, sitting on the dais, in a throne, looking all nice, plump, and fat,
he's been eating good,
living off the fat of the land. I'll tell you, running the Heart Cartel clearly, or doing something with some of the syndicates. And then Boba pops in with Fenric, and they blast away and literally blast everybody sitting there. One cool character that was off to the side when you're rewatching that, off to the right, if you're watching it on your screen, is the red-haired dancer kind of lady that Boba is like chin-loving in Jedi, which I thought was kind of a neat nod. She was there, and she takes off running off. Is a really random notice. But and he clears them out, sits on the throne, and it says Book of Boba coming 2021. So a lot of things exciting about that. Real quick, clearly Boba Fett is the reason I love Star Wars. He was the main draw for me. That's why I'm so excited about Mando. Robert Rodriguez, who actually directed, he said on paper, I read this today, on paper when he read the script for Boba Fett, when he did that fight scene when they're on that planet, when they're on Taicho.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? Whatever. That he wanted to draw that out to like a longer battle because he's like, this is Boba fucking Fett. He's a big fan of Boba Fett. He's like, this is one of my favorite characters. Like, you can't be just like
he's got to have him.
He can't be just like Mando. He's got to fight differently. It's got to be more epic, right? Because he deserves it. He's never gotten that. Tython, thank you. So the fact that Dave and John are writing and working on this, but Robert Rodriguez now attached to the entire series.
That's wild.
And that, I mean, it's fucking Robert Rodriguez, for fuck's sake.
It's obvious that Disney is all in. They're all in on Disney Plus.
And remember how we talked about it, like in the last episode before the break, we said that they're saying a lot of things in these new series, like, oh, this coincides kind of with the timeline of Mando.
Yep.
Well, the Filoni and Favreau side of it have definitely taken a big precedence because they've able to capture the fans more so than the sequel trilogy. They're going to follow the lead now because this is where the money's at. So guess what?
It's not only where the money is, but it's where the fans are. It's what they want.
Give them creative. Let them go with it.
What they want.
Yep. Let them go with it. And
keep Kathleen Kennedy the fuck out of it. Get out of here. Leave it alone. Let's go.
That gets people all excited too. So what's going to happen now? It sounds like is that Book of Boba is its own series.
Yep.
We're not going to get the Mandalorian until 2022, sometime maybe late winter or spring.
Which I think is good because, like you said, man, first of all, they basically wiped the table of a lot of stuff after this way this ended because you separated Grogu. He's out of the picture now.
Yep, exactly.
So now we're going to, obviously, Mandalorian is still a part of the plans. We've seen it on the display at their Disney press conference. We know Mandalorian is a part of the future here, but I think, Boba Fett kind of gives them that, okay, look, here's something here for now. Mm-hmm. We still got a lot to work on with Mandalorian because this, obviously, Mandalorian is going to go in a completely different direction now.
Oh, now at this point, we have to deal with the fact that Din Djarin has the Darksaber when it's supposed to be Bo's.
Yep.
And she has to win it by trial of combat.
Trial by combat, which Mandalorian knows a lot about. From Game of Thrones, because he was in Trial by Combat.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters gets pieced out by the mountain. I
was so pissed.
Red Viper's a 10, man. So fucking
the way
amazing.
He died was horrific.
Yeah, it was fucking bullshit.
But go ahead. I digress.
But so we're gonna get Book of Boba anyways, and then we'll get back into Mando. And it's good because I think they need the time to figure out where they want to go with Mando. Because my hope, and this is my prediction, is that now that the Darksaber's big play, Grogu's out of the picture, and you got kind of Mando in this limbo, like he's not really part of the Death Watch thing anymore. He's taking his helmet off.
And it doesn't seem like he's
kind
interested.
of he's not really interested in Mandalore, but guess what? Now you kind of are. So hopefully this will be the first time. Because both Clone Wars and Rebels tackle Mandalore actually quite often. But now we'll be able to see a live action version of some Mandalore stuff, and that's really exciting. So that's hopefully we're gonna go for. And Book of Boba, I hope it kind of links up a little bit with some of the stuff that we didn't get to finish out in Solo. But there's a kind of a 15-year gap ish there, so we might not because there's some Syndicate stuff and all the stuff with Maul's kind of past and everything like that. But the Underworld stuff and the Bounty Hunters is clearly where my tuning. Like I care more about that stuff typically than the Jedi stuff.
Sure.
So I'm excited to see the dark dealings of the Underworld in Star Wars is going to go. I think could be really, really exciting. Concord Dawn, exactly. There's a lot of possibilities. That's really exciting. So
yeah, it was a phenomenal ending to the series. I mean, it really was. It was emotional. It was exciting. It was intense. I mean, there was some tension. Like you said, when the Dark Troopers show up and things start, you're just like, man, Guys are pretty formidable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a tough battle here.
Right, and I hope that means that's not the last time we see the Dark Troopers and Moff Gideon gets to be a slime. Point is that I thought at the end of the series we were going to see some Thrawn, and we clearly didn't.
But we know he's a part of the plan because you wouldn't name drop him. And
he's probably going to be more involved in Ahsoka's series at this point because she's looking for
Thrawn. Anyway,
she's looking for Thrawn specifically. She wants to know where Ezra is at, and apparently he might be back because we still don't know who Moff Gideon's. Who's pulling the strings, and the only person that can would be Thrawn. So these series are going to coincide and pull some strings. So we'll see how this goes. My hope at the end of the day is that maybe we'll see some more young Luke here or there with some stuff because Grogu's got to be integrated at some point here or there.
Right.
How and where and what's going to happen is the question. And will we see any more of that with the CG Luke? We don't know. Let's hope we do.
I'm down for some CG Luke.
Yeah, so
especially if Mark Hamill's on board. Mark Hamill, his tweets were hilarious. As soon as that's happened, he goes, "Hey, anything big?
Any seen any good TV lately?
Good TV lately?" It's like, God damn it, I love Mark Hamill. He's so good.
He's a nerd's nerd. He's a connoisseur of pop culture. He's a super fan of his fans. He's never shied away from it, and he's embraced it better than a lot of people have.
I actually got a reply from him.
You did get a reply from him.
So
I fucking hate you.
That day when he replied, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. I don't like you. Yeah, it's bullshit. Stupid.
I was like, man, I loved you as James T. Kirk. You were so good.
Oh, my God.
And I was blocked by him. It was weird.
All
right, so last thing we want to talk about.
Yeah, and I went crazy on it because I can't help with Star Wars. But
here we go. This right here. Something that we saw prior to 2020 coming to a close. A new series on Netflix. The History of Swear Words. Hosted by none other than the one true God.
The one true God. The man in the middle of the paradigm, or the what is that?
It's a paradigm.
Yeah, the paradigm.
Yep,
the paradigm.
Nicolas Cage is the host of The History of Swear Words. Every episode is available. The whole season is available right now on Netflix. I think it's 6 or 7. I think it's 7 episodes.
7. I'm about 3 or 4 in.
Yeah, I got to 4, and then when everything started blowing up at the Capitol building, that's when I shut it off and went to the news and watched that the rest of the day. Which I wish I would have watched Nicolas Cage and. The History of Swear Words. But overall, this is actually pretty funny.
They started out
because it's only 20 minutes. Each episode is 20 minutes, but the way they handle these episodes, the way they're designed to play out, and how they kind of give you, like the title says, a history of each specific word. This reminded me of George Carlin. El Blanco, yes, there's a George Carlin skit in one of his comedy hours where he talks about the 7 swear words you can't use on television. And that's where when I first saw this trailer, I was like, man, George Carlin did this bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. And the way they explore this is Nicolas Cage is the host, but then he's got like just a plethora of comedians.
Oh, he's so fucking good.
And they give you.
You got linguists.
Yeah, you get this interesting perspective of swear words, like fuck, and the way they explore the usage of them and where they originated from and how they evolved over time. I mean, you're just like, you watch and you're just like, it's pretty fucking informative,
I
actually.
learned something fucking funny, and it's amazing.
Yeah, they talk about like how fuck evolved from this, but I love the shit episode. How they're like, shit was always started off so negative. But it's made a transition over the last couple, 10, 20 years where it's trying to be more of a positive swear word. Like instead of being you're a piece of shit, it's like this is the shit.
Yeah, they said the word kind of like rests, like if there's like a bad or a good, it kind of rests in like this gray area the word is. And I was like, that's a really good fucking analogy. Like,
yeah, and they're like, fuck it. You can use fuck in every which way possible.
I love this shit. Yeah, it's a fucking pretzel.
The fucking pretzel. I mean, dude, it's actually it's a lot smarter and it's a lot more informative than I thought it was going to be. Like, they really dive into like
it's literal history on them.
A lot of these words originated like in the 1500s, like way back when, in ways you wouldn't expect. And then they explain how they transitioned into a curse word and how they've evolved from sometimes being negative to sometimes being kind of a positive thing. It's actually really entertaining, and every episode is available now on Netflix. They're 20 minutes each. They're short episodes, are quick, but Nicolas Cage is fucking hilarious.
Yep.
He hosts the show. He's and it's not just like him at the beginning and him at the end. He's sprinkled in between, and then you got all these comedians like who is it? Glazer.
Nikki Glaser.
I mean, there's just a ton of like comedians that are in there.
Yeah, you get cameos from comedians that are saying stuff. Nick Offerman's in it.
Yeah.
And he even does a couple voices like for some fucking cartoon shit.
He's in the episode of Dick, the word Dick, and he's hilarious. He's talking about his conversation with his wife, and it's really funny, you guys. It's out on Netflix right now, and it's definitely worth a look. And it's just they're 20 minutes each. You can watch it. You can watch the whole season in 2 hours. Like it's snappy, it's quick, it's really fast, but it is really more informative than I was really expecting it to be.
It's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So if you've ever wanted to know the origins of words like fuck, shit, what is it? Oh, geez.
Bitch,
dick, is damn one?
I'm only about 3 or 4 in.
I think I'm 4 in. I know I've done shit, fuck, dick, bitch. I think that's right to cut off. But it's really funny, guys. And like I said, it'll have you going, oh, wow, I had no idea. It's really entertaining. I'm a big fan. I'm going to watch the rest tomorrow. Huge fan of it. Really, really fun stuff. So
and perfect that we've got Nick.
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage, baby. And this is a nice recovery from jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's just like everything he does. Like,
oh yeah,
jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu sucks, but he was great in it. Because he's Nick Cage, right? He's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's gonna act his chops, and it's gonna be awesome. In this, he's flamboyant, but it's like it's not a lot. Like you were saying, like I was actually first. I'm like, I want more. He's a little bit toned down, but like
there's some parts where he's he gets a little gonzo in some spots when he yells "fuck super."
Yes. Yeah,
it's really funny. It's really entertaining, you guys. I think you would really dig it.
Not watch you anymore. Well, tell your fucking mom to go lay down and stop talking her shit.
What
King.
happened?
King said that his...
Watch your mouth. One more word. Yeah. My mom said I cannot watch you anymore. Oh, man. Actually, I'll talk to your mom tonight. Before we get into that,
yeah. We'll both be getting into that.
Oh, is it that night? Okay.
Yeah. Swapping.
I wanted to ask you, do you want to talk about it tonight? Or I can maybe... I got to go through season 2 as well.
What's that?
Cobra Kai.
Oh fuck. Yeah. All we're gonna say. Let's get into it the next episode.
I'm gonna try to binge 2 and 3, season 2 and 3.
Yes, King Cuddles. I'm talking to you right now, motherfucker.
Oh my.
Would you please finish the season of Cobra Kai for the next show in 2 weeks so we can talk about it?
Ooh, maybe Cuddles can be our next call-in. We'll need a censor button.
Yeah.
And probably 25-second delay.
That's a great idea, actually. I think
censor button, 25-second delay.
Cuddles, watch Cobra Kai. Yeah, no, don't, no. You know, I know, no. You need to be the call-in next time, you piece of shit. You need to watch Cobra Kai. Listen, Cobra Kai season 3 dropped on the first day of 2021, and I spent 6 hours binging the entire fucking thing, and I'm done with it.
Hard on that
I
day.
went ham on it, and I'm telling you what, like season 2 was really awesome. Mm-hmm. Season 1 was really awesome.
Season 1 was better.
Season
than I ever
3
thought it could
is, of course, really awesome, but you're getting some background on characters, and I'm gonna say you get some background on Kreese, and anytime
you get background on Kreese, please don't tell me Old Boy showed up. The villain from 3, he doesn't show up, does he? For Christ's sakes. Okay, go ahead.
You haven't even seen the...
That's all you had to say. Not saying anything is...
anytime he doesn't show up. Anytime that you get background and depth on what drives a villain, it makes him that much better. Now, sometimes I get it. People like that mystery. Like, why? What? I like to know what drives people, and this gives some background for that you never knew you needed, and you got, and holy shit. It is amazing. This season was fantastic. Again, I binged it, like I said, in one day. I'll probably just rewatch it soon anyways, like I'm going to do with Mando. But, I'm left watching it. I like to binge my seasons. I don't like it spread out. I just want more. It's so fucking good. Everybody out there that's trying to reboot, rehash, or do anything from my childhood or anybody's childhood from 30 or 40 years ago, listen and watch their playbook, because this is the way you do it. This Cobra Kai has a plan for you. This is the way you do it. This is how you preserve the past and move forward with the future. There is character cameos that I never would have imagined I would for sure see, and we saw and we got, and holy shit. So Cobra Kai.
All right. 3. So yeah, next episode we'll probably talk about Cobra Kai, and I know Prime mentioned Transformers. You're working your way through that. Correct?
I've got one more episode left of the Transformers Earthrise. Some like quote unquote hardcore Transformer fans and some of the groups I'm in haven't felt this season. I'm like, are you fucking crazy or something? Because this Transformers series on Netflix is fucking creme de la creme as well too. It is awesome. I've got one episode left in it, and every episode feels like it's 5 minutes because you're like, I can't believe this is.
I love the first
adult.
season. I thought the first season was great. Is it only 5? How many episodes?
Six.
Is it? 6 episodes.
6 again.
Okay.
So it's pretty awesome. Hey,
Okay.
don't go pee.
We're
getting there. We're getting there.
He's getting there.
We're getting there for sure.
But that's gonna do it for this week's episode, I think. Oh no.
One
more
last
thing.
thing.
Yes.
Last thing, and we're not gonna get too deep in it. I just want to say, you all know that we're big wrestling fans around here. We like to support our friends Rohit Raju and Jake something, aka Cousin Jake. Not to get too deep in this, but the wrestling world has kind of been flipped in the last month. Yep. My two favorite federations, AEW and Impact, are actually kind of Are
you serious? The wife shows up and says, I better bring this to bed. Oh my. Well, you know, honey, I always bring the meat to bed.
Yeah, and go figure, it's short and floppy.
Come on.
So anyways, this next 2 Saturdays, not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday, and the 16th, what has basically happened is that AEW and Impact have done something never seen before like this, at least in my knowledge, this kind of grandeur, have crossed over. Kenny Omega is teaming up with his old boys that originally were the Bullet Club in like New Japan, the Good Brothers, taking on Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns in a pay-per-view on the 16th. This is history for one, because you're seeing one complete champion in one federation, 2 different federations fighting each other.
Right.
But, which is exciting and awesome. There's a lot going on behind that, and I'm not going to get too deep in that. It's really exciting if you're a wrestling fan right now and watch either of these 2 promos. The big deal of it for me is that Cousin Jake and his boy Diener,
Cody
Diener, thank you, they fractured and kind of split.
Good. I mean, I like Cody Diener, but I want Jake to
right.
get
So they've got a match going. They've got a match all planned up as well too, and then of course Rohit and Manic and Chris Bay. It's like a 3-way tangle they got going on. So what I'm trying to say is, first of all, I'm getting this pay-per-view. Second of all, it's really exciting for our 2 friends because this is going to be a pay-per-view that a lot more people are going to watch on a grander scale, due to the fact that this is not something that people have seen. So not a lot of people that either watch maybe one or the other really watch maybe one or the other. So like, unlike myself who watch both, people really in wrestling take an affinity to one or 2, and that's it.
Sure.
You know, so there's going to be people watching this that might not be familiar with Jake or with Rohit.
Huge opportunity.
This is a big opportunity. It's going to be a big big live event, and they're going to be able to showcase themselves in front of people that might not be exposed to them, and that is fucking exciting. And I'm really excited for our friends because they're
both talented as fuck.
They're so
man.
talented.
I mean,
as fuck,
we've seen what Rohit's capable of, and we know Jake is talented. I mean, he's a mammoth human being who slaughters people in the ring. I mean, he's a big dude. And so Jake is going to get that opportunity. We already know Rohit's going to handle his business and be exciting and whatnot. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so we're really excited for that. So if you enjoy wrestling, I keep telling everybody, you got to watch AEW first of all. And you got to watch Impact.
When is that event?
So that is January 16th, I think, 8 or 9 p.m. Live pay-per-view.
Is that next Saturday?
Yeah, it's a week from this coming Saturday.
Just you come over and we'll get drunk and then we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a good time to me.
That's how I roll.
So
awesome. Good luck to our boys.
So,
hopefully they have some success and put on a good show and
they will
get the love they deserve. So now that will mark the end of episode number 29, the first episode of 2021. First of all, big shout out once again to 989 Pharmacy for providing with this luxuriously, very tasty, very filling, and soon to be up in my bed charcuterie board. 989 Pharmacy. They're right downtown at the SVRC Marketplace. You can order through Grubhub on their Facebook page. And in April, they'll be opening the 989 Cafe on Gratiot out in Shields. Guys, get the fucking Burnham and just thank us later.
Thank us later.
It is the sexiest sandwich that they have. Make sure you visit them. Check them out. They're really, really good. Thank you so much for providing this and letting us munch on some chow while we're doing a lovely show.
Yeah.
And seriously, thank you, the viewers, for being here and bearing with us while we try out different features for the show. Huge shout out to Tricky Region for being our first official call-in. And like I said, we're going to work on this, tweak it over the next month or so until we can finally get a good system in place. And then we'll be able to get more of you in on each episode on certain topics. So really, really excited about that. Hope you guys and girls like the emotes. I think we're going to do the You Pissin' will be the 5th one, man. The tone beat.
That's probably
it kind of has to happen.
It kind of has to happen.
It kind of has to be because that will just people can just spam that in the chat when it's time for Tone's pee break.
Mash that Discord button. So if you're not in our Discord as well, too, want to hang out all day.
Get up in here.
We're a small community, and a lot of you are in there, and we appreciate the love. You guys are wild as fuck. It gets crazy. The not safe for work memes and the food porn are probably the 2 hottest channels that we have.
Yep.
A lot of crazy stuff going on in there. You guys come in and hang out with us. We'd love to have you, but if you're a sub to the channel, which we love and appreciate, and thank you as well,
you guys very much.
I'll be in the next, hopefully, couple days, finally getting that channel set up for all you subs, so you have access to some extra features as well, too, including being able at some point to call in on the show as well, too. And maybe once we get all the kinks figured out, we can do, instead of just one person on the show, we can get maybe 2.
I mean, I would love. I mean, ideally, the thing that you have to do again, and we talked about at the beginning of the show, is you want to make sure that you're not just bringing anybody on. So what we'll do is we'll probably have one of the mods, if they're possible, to kind of sit in the room where we can mute that, and then the mod can screen the viewer and say, hey, what do you want to talk about? And then they tell them what they're going to say. Make sure they sound cool, and then when we let them on, it's good to go. That way, you kind of protect yourself from having somebody, like you said, come out with some off-color content. So. Hey, thank you, Zach. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that raid, brother.
We're actually about to, unfortunately, leave.
We're just about to wrap it up, but I appreciate you nonetheless.
We love you, buddy.
But yeah, that's going to be the plan for the call-in feature. Like I said, we'll just tweak it a little bit here and there until we can fully roll it out. And like I said, it's really exciting because we just want to get you guys and girls as involved as possible. We love being able to talk to you in the chat. But being able to get you into a voice chat and share your opinions with everybody and have a conversation with us, that's what we really want, because it's ultimately you guys and girls are the reasons that we are doing this. You're the reasons that we're working hard to create a place that is fun and exciting, good conversations, and we can all make fun of Tone for his small bladder. So it's really just kind of like the best of both worlds. Thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate that, Benzo. But Tone, anything you want to add before we wrap up tonight's show?
I just want to give some quick out love. Vamp wanted me to say hi. Thank you, Vamp, for hanging out tonight as well.
Thank you, Vamp.
I know you don't get a chance in here as much. Mystic Mike live out there does stream on Facebook. He's been a big supporter and gotten to be a pretty good pal of ours. We appreciate him. Check him out on Facebook. A lot of these people in here are streamers, great folks in here as well too. Check out King Cuddles. Check out scroll down for me if you wouldn't mind, just so I can get a little peep. I just saw somebody else want to say definitely Zach Dynamite as well too. Who else we got out there? Draston streams. He's our D&D guy.
Man.
Get in some love in there. A lot of you out there, if you're a streamer, throw your hands up, follow each other, give some love. And then lastly, one of my favorite new channels, I don't know if he's still in here, but check out, if you can, link it for me out there real quick. One of my mods, Half-Ass Beer Review on YouTube. He keeps giving us shout outs. He's been a longtime friend and a longtime savior for me puking in buckets and going to the hills for thrills and getting hammered. He does great work on YouTube. If you want to explore craft beer, it's really, really good stuff he's doing. It's enjoyable, and I love his work. So he's been really supportive of us, and I want to make sure we do the same for him. So thank you to all of you folks. Thank you to all of our people that show up week in, week out. Share us on social media. Tell people about us. If you enjoy us, share it with those folks as well, too. And
what do you think? Next week, Wednesday, Among Us? Why not?
Probably.
So
B&B Plays next Wednesday will probably be Among Us.
We'll be doing some Among Us. So next Wednesday night, 9 p.m., hop in the Discord. We'll have Among Us going on Wednesday night for the B&B community night. Always a good time. Always a blast. If you have a Nintendo Switch, you can play with us now.
Yeah, Switch has now been added as well, too. So
the Nintendo Switch has Among Us. So if you would like to play... Let's go. Beard wants Avengers. Beard wants. Hey man, I'm actually curious about Avengers with that Kate Bishop ad. Man, a lot of people are talking a lot about Kate Bishop's ad on there.
We may have to do a separate stream or something where we can get some gaming on that.
There's so many games coming up that are gonna be good.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, everything. I don't care.
I mean, no.
Thanks, King. That's Half-Ass Beer Review.
Right there.
Give that dude a follow there on the YouTube channel. Give him a subscribe if you wouldn't mind.
Check out his stuff. He has awesome reviews of beer. He goes in depth with everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's very
pretty
thorough.
awesome. We
He's
enjoy him.
entertaining. He's fun. Check him out.
We love this
He's
dude.
a good dude, man. Good dude. All right. For Mr. Fanboytone,
That's me.
I'm the Dude79. Please be safe out there. Be careful. Watch yourselves.
Get his shirt.
What else you got to do? Wash their ass. What else do you say?
Wash your hands and wash your butt.
Wash your butt. There you go. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday night next week for B&B Community Night. Take care.